because an addict will truly find a way to make a shovel out of the dirt beneath them and dig down farther. Hey guys, what's up? I recently got a comment that asked about my rock bottom. I know a bunch of you are new subscribers, so I kind of wanted to go over that story for you. I haven't talked about my addiction for quite some time, and that has been because it's been too difficult to talk about. I lost my best friend in August to a drug overdose, and a lot of my memories are tied up with him. So I just wasn't ready to discuss anything. I mean, I wasn't really ready to make any videos, and I barely have, but I can really sense a need for this one right now, especially with the pandemic going on. I know people are feeling all types of emotions that they haven't felt before, and they're getting stressed. I know I am, but I want to tell you the story about my lowest point that eventually led to my high point, which is now. I started using drugs at age 18, and I continued using until 22 years old. I didn't have the traditional rock bottom that you would think of, you know, like the progression, the sequence of events where it's the event, the lowest point, and then the moment of clarity, which leads to your redemption. Mine kind of came out of order. I had to turn myself into jail on August 26, 2008. So I didn't want to get clean at that point. I had no intention of it. I sometimes wonder why I didn't ask for help. I think that I was just so afraid to disappoint people, which is kind of funny now to think back, like funny, like that's weird, that's stupid, because I had people that I could have asked. I had people that cared about me a lot. I had people that would have done whatever it would have taken to help me, but they didn't know. I hid my addiction from everyone. And I just think that most addicts think that our family members are just going to be disappointed. Our friends are just going to be embarrassed. They're not going to want to deal with this. They're going to cut me off. But these people would care so much if you overdosed that their disappointment is not going to matter nearly as much as their love. Before I get into this, I wanted to let you guys know that I have a webinar thing coming up. I'm going to do it as a webinar, my mindfulness and goals program. From my comments, I've kind of gathered that you guys are feeling stuck too, and it's been hard lately. And it's hard to make plans or set goals because you don't know what the future is, but I have a way that'll help us do that. All you need to do is click the link in the description, and you give your name and your email address, and it'll send you a link for an unlisted video. I'm doing it here on YouTube so that you guys know the platform. And I would like this to be females only, but males are welcome to join if you are going to be respectful. I will block you if you aren't. I'm doing it like this so that I can kind of limit who's in there. I want this to be a really intimate group. I want this to be a fun thing. And I'm gonna have it up next Friday, which is the 29th. So you have plenty of time to click this link. You know, if you're seeing this after the 29th, I'm gonna do this again. But if you do get it in time, I would love to have you join me. I'm really, really excited about it. Okay, let's get into this. I'm gonna set the stage for you. It was 2008, which was a rough year. You know, it was back before Facebook and social media. Facebook existed, but it was just for colleges. It was back before anything aside from MySpace, AOL, Instant Messenger, and like ICQ. I think that was already phased out at that point. But I didn't have that level of connectedness that we have now. I really felt like I could get away with things and just people didn't know. even the banks, right? Like you could take money out of a bank account that didn't have any money in it and they would give it to you because their systems were so slow. People didn't have apps on their phones to check their bank account statements. Like everything was just a little bit delayed and a little bit disconnected, which kind of worked in my favor for my addiction, but like didn't work in my favor for my overall health and well-being. Now, like I said, I hid my addiction, and I did this because I was in a codependent relationship. It's not what you guys would expect, though. I've actually touched on it before, but I never explicitly labeled it that. I had a family member who I've mentioned in previous videos, so if you really want to go look, you can figure it out. But I had a family member that really enabled me because I lied to them. I feel really bad about it, and it still kind of has an effect on our relationship now. It definitely has an effect on their trust for me. Like, I've had to work so hard to rebuild that trust. And I love them, and I don't want to blame them. I don't want them to feel responsible or guilty, but it's just what happened. It's just the reality of it. I say I lived in a Groundhog's Day movie, only it was hell. I lived the worst day ever on repeat. I would wake up every morning sick, because I spent most of my last year of addiction sick. I was in withdrawal most of the time. I had 3 states. I was either sick, not that sick, or well. High was not an option. That just didn't happen anymore. So I would wake up every morning and sometimes have enough left over for a morning dose, but not usually. And I would drive my family member to work, and then I would take their car all day. And I drove all over the state. All over the state, like this, not the state, I mean, the state's a little bit of an exaggeration, but like all over the south central part of the state, because we live outside Baltimore. And I would hit up these big box stores and I would steal things every day. I did not have a job from like March 2007 until I went to jail. That's crazy that I had an addiction for that long, but I didn't have any income. It blows my mind. I had an apartment, like we were spending about $200, $300 every day, plus gas money, plus, well, I would say plus money for food, but we both know I didn't eat. Just when you think about the logistics of it, it's crazy. That's why I think I'm not scared when I don't have money now, because I know that I can get scrappy and figure something out. Like I've got this. I've been in worse places. So I would drive all over the state. It was usually me and a couple of friends. Greg usually stayed back in our hometown in a motel with a baby, babysitting. And we would drive 6 or 8 hours a day and steal as much as we possibly could. And it was like stupid stuff like razors and Rogaine or whatever, I don't know. Then we would drive down to Baltimore and pawn it. I would drive so fast to get to Baltimore because I had to be back in time to pick my family member up from work and act like I didn't just drive all over the effing state. Like, oh, it was such a mess. But I would drive down there so fast, I would cap out at 100 miles per hour. So I don't know if you've ever driven a car that fast, but it like actually slows you down. It has a resistor put on it. I did not care. I didn't care about myself and I didn't care about anybody else. And I think that's why I have such like bad car anxiety, because I know that people like me exist. I'm not proud of that. I'm not happy that I did that. And I'm very, very grateful that nothing bad came from it. But I know that other people do it too. It's just scary. I hate highways. But we would drive down there and we would rush to make it to the pawn shop just in time. And then we would have to sit and wait for hours to get a hold of whoever our connect was. And it was just like, that's all it was. It was hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. So I would hurry up and wait at the store, and we had to wait for everything to be good. Then it was rush out of there, hurry up, and then we gotta rush to the next place, and then we gotta wait. And we gotta hurry up and then rush and wait. And it sucks. I hate waiting so much. And that was the biggest part of like the whole experience that I remember. The most painful part, aside from the dope sickness, was the waiting. Now, I say that I don't have a traditional rock bottom because I didn't have that one big event that led to me getting clean. I had a lot of them. And that's kind of why I think rock bottom isn't something that we should be striving for or expecting or think is part of the equation. It doesn't have to be, because an addict will truly find a way to make a shovel out of the dirt beneath them and dig down farther. My best female friend overdosed in front of me because of me, because of my negligence, and I continued to use. My best friend, Brent, went to rehab for the first time, and then the second time, and the third time before I even went to jail. He had gone to rehab so many times, I don't even know the total anymore, but it's in the double digits. And then I watched my ex-boyfriend shoot up for the first time in front of me, and I was already shooting up at that point. And I didn't say anything. I didn't stop him, I didn't warn him, I didn't tell him what it was gonna be like. I actually encouraged it. Because he introduced me to dope in some sick way. I thought that was like, I don't know. I'm grateful that I'm still friends with him. I'm grateful that he's still alive. I'm grateful that my best female friend is still alive too. She went on to overdose 7 times. Twice with me. I had all these low moments, but I kept going. I got pulled over again before I even went to jail, and I had like, what, 4 or 6 grams of dope in the car at that time, and I got lucky that they didn't search the car. It didn't scare me, it didn't stop me. I would drive 100 miles per hour down the freaking highway, and that didn't scare me. It didn't stop me. When I went to jail, I was really forced to go. If my mom hadn't made me, I don't know if I would have gone. And I'm glad I did. I would hate to have not gone. I would have hate to have made that worse. lost my opportunity for work release, but I think it was pretty obvious that I didn't want to be alive by the time I turned myself in. Like the night before I turned myself in, Greg and I met up. I was actually seeing somebody else at this point, and I snuck out to go see him, and he cashed a bunch of savings bonds that he had, and I think we spent about $1,300 on dope. $1,100 or $1,300, I can't remember, but it was a lot. It was a lot, and we split it, and I really just hoped I was gonna die. Greg had to turn himself in I think a month after me, so I don't know. I thought that I was gonna go into jail and then go to work the next day, and he was gonna be able to come see me at work, and thank God that didn't happen. Thank God that I got sent to general population, because that would have been terrible. But my rock bottom came from going back to general population. You know, I was forced to get clean, forced to detox, because my stupid brain didn't even see that as a possibility. Like, I thought I was gonna go to jail and just keep using. Like, I just didn't think that I was touchable. I thought I was unfuckwithable. I hate that word. I don't know why I used it. I did. I thought I was so entitled, and I didn't see recovery as a long-term option for me. I didn't even see living as a long-term option for me. And I was lucky enough to get sent in there, have to go back to general population, have to detox and go to isolation for a week, and have to come clean to my mom and my family about my addiction. I have never felt that low, that much shame. It's something that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to make up for, and I'm aware of that, but rock bottom looks different for everybody. Some people have a rock bottom and it leads to this moment of clarity and they get clean. They take advantage of it. Most of us have rock bottoms that suck really fucking bad. And we have that moment of clarity, but we don't act on it. We just wait. We feel so stuck. I should have asked for help. I wish I would have asked for help. I wish I would have gotten clean before I went to jail. I wish I would have gone to like a rehab or something to detox. Like, so many things I wish I would have done differently. But thankfully I was in jail long enough, 7.5 months, to want to live by the time I left. I felt like a new person when I left. And a lot of that is because of the friendships that I made. I had one girlfriend named Megan, actually, who was amazing. And she really helped hold me down. She had to be in there for a while. She was on like her way out as I was on my way in. And just getting to meet her was really helpful. And then my pastor came to visit me every single week. And I had never met him before. He was actually my mom's pastor. And she asked him to come visit me, and he drove 1 hour and 25 minutes every week to come see me. He was the first person that made me believe that the world would see me as more than my addiction. I didn't think I was gonna get emotional, but it's normal for me. If you're struggling with your addiction right now, just know that it gets better. You have to make the choice to get better, though. It's not just gonna happen on its own. It's not gonna fall into your lap. You're gonna have to do things that are hard. You're gonna have to do things that scare you. You have to do things you don't wanna do. But just, it's worth it. It's so worth it. That's where I'm gonna end today's video. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I would actually like to know what your rock bottom was. Did you have one? Did you follow the normal trajectory, or did you have something unique like mine? I really hope to see you at that unlisted webinar thing. I don't know what to call it. I'm not very professional, but I would really love it if you guys participated. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it tonight. I love you guys. Be weird, be kind. Bye.